To our weekly segment, Tik Talk, where we take a closer look at the story behind the sensation. Our next guest has made a name for himself by asking a simple question: what do you do for a living? TikTok sensation Daniel MacDonald, known as It's Daniel Mac, is arguably one of the most recognized voices on the app, racking up more than 13 million followers and 280 million likes for his videos, asking complete strangers in luxurious cars about their professions. Let's take a look.
The car, what do you do for a living?
You know, I'm a professional YouTuber.
Professional YouTuber? Okay, man. Excuse me, I love your car. What do you do for a living?
Oh, I drift cars for a living.
You drift cars for a living?
Yeah.
Daniel, so good to have you here tonight. Your series asking people what they do for a living has just become so popular over the last 2 years. How did you come up with this idea?
You know, I really just had it start when I started seeing some crazy supercars in Dallas, Texas. This was before I moved to LA, and I just thought to myself, like, how does someone afford a car like this? And I'm just going to go up and ask them. And I filmed it, and it blew up, like, in a way that I could have never expected. So.
And what kind of car do you drive? Got to ask you.
I drive a Tesla, which may anger some car owners, but I do have a Porsche on the way if it ever stopped getting delayed. So I'm gonna have both, the electric and the real car. So, yeah.
The popularity of these videos has just taken you to new heights. Back in September, you actually collaborated with President Biden. Tell us about that.
Oh my gosh, it was probably the coolest collaboration one could do. But yeah, it was up in Detroit. He knew I was coming, kind of, but it wasn't really like planned out in the way that like, you know, everything was set. So I was just going to be there. And as he was passing by, kind of getting ready to go in his new EV, I ran up and popped the question to him. So he was really friendly. It was a really unique look seeing him drive, because normally the president can't like drive in public.
Right.
And this was in a convention center. So yeah, it was amazing. So cool.
And you interview a wide range of people, as you just said, from the luxury cars to young teenagers and adults. What occupation, what answer has been the most surprising?
Oh my gosh, I've seen literally everything. I'll tell you, probably the most common is like people that are like in tech or lawyers or real estate. But I've literally seen every answer you could think of. Like I'll run into like karate masters. I'll run into some of the more risque answers. Really any industry you can think of, I've seen it. Some are more common, but people have some silly answers as well.
What was the coolest car?
Oh gosh. So I got the owner of Pagani, Horatio Pagani, in a video, and he was driving a Pagani Huayra BC, which is very rare. But I actually randomly ran into him up at an event in California, and it happens to just be my favorite car on the road, and it's street legal, which is wild. So the owner of Pagani himself answered me, and his son kind of like answered for him because he doesn't speak English that well. So it was kind of embarrassing because I'm like, what do you do for a living? And he's like, I made this car. I'm Pagani. So the coolest car with the coolest answer.
And you were saying before that you also talk to yacht owners. It's not just the luxury cars. Where do you tend to run into these people?
Miami, and I'm actually going in like a week or so, but Miami is like the craziest place to find like mega yachts. So I'll literally like kind of not like break in, I won't say up on the record, but find my way into a yacht yard and go up to these like 150 foot, sometimes 200 foot yachts. And I'll just like yell, you know, from the deck, like, hey, what do you do for a living? And often they'll let me come on board if they've seen my videos and do like a crib style yacht tour. And I find out more about what they do.
Where would you like to see yourself in media in the next 5 years, let's say?
Well, I mean, I think the basis of my account is all about really interviewing people. I mean, it's fun stuff. And, you know, I try to make it like comedic and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, I'm really sitting down with people, and I want to do more long form style interviews and really sit down and find out like, how did you get where you're at? Or like, why are you in your position in a way that I can't capture with like a 1 minute video? So I'd like to be more in journalism, but longer form. So that's kind of taking shape. I'm starting like a longer form podcast and stuff like that. And I think it'll really bridge the wall that kind of exists between wealthy people and this stigma that people have that you can't walk up to them. And my goal is to, you know, kind of break down that barrier.
All right, very interesting stuff there, Daniel. We thank you so much for joining our series this week. Don't forget about us when you get your mega yacht, your super yacht.
Okay, thank you so much for having me.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.